guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the promised custom doll video that I said that I was going to upload. I think I said a couple of videos ago that I'd asked Jay to make a video from Jay's Dolls UK. I'd asked her to make a video showing her customs that she's made, and it's only fair that I show the ones that I've made so far. So to start off, this is the first doll that I ever repainted, and this is Echo. As you can possibly tell from looking at her, she was a Laguna, a Monster High Laguna, and she's like folding under the weight of her hair. I made her with, like, can you even see? I made her with super long hair. My idea for her character originally was that she was like a sort of fairy tale Rapunzel character, and I do actually have a video where I show her, like, sort of her progress and stuff. I do have one further back in my channel, but I thought I would show her again. Really long hair. I think I said when Jay said about her hair on Instagram, I think I told you, Jay, that her hair basically tangles every single time I move her, so I kind of have to brush it between takes. Hey Isis. There's Isis. And she's still doing well, for all of you that were wondering how she is. So yeah, this is Echo. I didn't have any particular plan when I was making her, except that I wanted to use this silver hair, which was from a wig that I had, and she was my first reroute as well as my first face, and I really made a couple of mistakes with her reroute. I plugged way too much hair in each plug, and even after boil washing it still won't, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but oh, you would if I moved it away the light. Yeah. Okay, so I've moved her into better light so you can see her plugs are still sticking straight up. And I don't know if it's because I overplugged it. I know for sure that I did overplug it. I don't know if that's why it's sticking up, or if it's because the material that the silver hair is made of. The blue hair is nylon, because I actually ran out of silver hair before I managed to finish her. I'm pretty happy with Echo for my first doll. I only recently completed her by glossing her eyes and lips. For her lips, I tried to draw quite within her sculpt and make her lips smaller than they are on Monster High, but I didn't try to like sand them down or anything, so that was a little bit of a mistake. I think it looks okay from the front, but from certain angles like the side, you can kind of see, you know, that you can see the sculpt and you can see the lips and the sculpt, and that kind of annoys me. I'm not sure if I would redo her though, or if I'll just leave her as is, as my first doll, and be like, right, you know, the mistakes that are there in her are there, and, you know, in a year's time or whatever, I can compare her to like my 10th doll or my 12th doll and just see how I've improved. I do like her. I am proud of her for a first effort. I think she's pretty good. I really wish I hadn't made the mistake with the hair though, with the rooting of the hair, because it's annoying the way it puffs up like that. You think that the weight of it, because I mean, look at it. Let's do a pan. Yeah, you think the weight of it would hold it down, but it just doesn't. Yeah, so that's Echo, and just to tell you a little bit about her, the character that I imagined for her. As I said before, I went into this with no plan, just using the hair. I picked all the colours on her face by random, just what I thought looked good. But I kind of had this story in my head where she was like this sort of fantasy Rapunzel siren sort of character, and I had this whole sort of personality worked out that I thought that she would have. But just as I've had her around and I've been dressing her in the more modern Monster High clothes, I just dressed her from clothes from my stock box, you know, just stuck them on her because I don't really know how I wanted her to dress yet. And her personality kind of formed in my head, and now I sort of see her as like a sort of kind of a goth Lolita sort of girl, you know, kind of punky, kind of spoiled. And it's funny the way, you know, she's just a doll, but it's funny the way the personality sort of comes through and you start to think, you know, imagine what sort of character they would be. Yeah, okay, so that's Echo. She's my first doll, and I will add a couple of pictures at the end of, when I show you each doll, I will add a couple of pictures of them at the end. So here's some pictures of Echo. Okay, and we've suddenly changed location here because the second doll that I made was actually a Christmas gift for my best friend. So this is filmed at her house, and this is Harley Quinn. This doll was made sort of under a time crunch because I was actually trying to make a completely different doll, but she turned out to be too complicated for me at the time. So I just had to think of another idea quickly, and my best friend absolutely loves Harley Quinn from the DC Comics, so the most obvious thing was to make Harley. So obviously she's made of an apple white. I didn't reroute her hair because her hair was already perfect, with the exception of the fact that she had a side parting, and of course Harley needs a middle parting so that she can have her pigtails. And actually, now that I'm looking at this doll, I've noticed that one of her hair bands exploded here, so I'm going to need to replace that. But I got around the fact that she has a side parting by sort of putting her hair up like this and then doing this little sort of plait down her back. So from the front, it kind of looks okay. And her little tendrils of hair come out. So obviously she's got her original blonde hair, but I kept original blonde hair, which I kept, and I dyed the bottoms of it red with a little bit of chalk pastel, and then I set that with hairspray. And so far so good, it hasn't faded. I made this doll in December, it's now the end of July, so that's what, 6 months, so it's pretty good. The outfit is just a bunch of stuff that I had in my Monster High stock box. I repainted almost all the items though. The dress I repainted red, and the wee waistcoat thing I painted black, and then the gloves were purple originally from a Claudine, I think, and I painted them black, and the accessories as well to match. And then the boots are painted with black acrylic and red Pearl X powder, and I'm pretty pleased with how they turned out. The only thing is that they're still a little bit kind of sticky. It's odd, I don't really know why that is. And the tights, I'm not sure where they come from, but she's looking a bit like Nora Batty right now because it's kind of doing this. But anyway, I actually had a migraine when I made this doll, which is really random, and there was quite a few trials and tribulations with making her. Because firstly, it was Christmas, I was very low on time, and I couldn't get any acetone nail polish remover. Nowhere in Carrick had it. It was all non-acetone, and the non-acetone stuff just would not remove her original paint of her eyes. You can see the black there. So what I did in the end was I just had to turn it into smeared makeup, and then just sort of spray Mr. Super Clear over the top of it and draw my own face on and just hope for the best. And I think it turned out kind of okay, although I'm still a little bit I'd rather it looked a little bit better, but I managed to sort of turn her original eyes into smeared makeup. Don't know if you can still tell where they were. The other thing about this doll was it was the first time I ever tried to do rooted lashes. If I turn to the side, you can kind of see them. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried to do rooted lashes on a doll, but it is way harder than it looks in tutorials. I think it took me 3 hours, and I actually broke down in tears at one point because I was so frustrated. But anyway, so that's Harley, and I gave her this little Joker plushie that I got out of a machine in Forbidden Planet forever ago. And there you go, she's quite cute, and I'm pretty pleased with her. I think for my second ever doll that I finished, she's not bad. So yeah, that's her. Let's give you a look. Okay, so we're back in my room again. I'm moving on to show you my third completed doll, which is Trinity. Trinity is, well, she was a Frankenstein, so she's made from a Frankenstein. I learned from my mistake with Echo. I didn't overplug the hair this time, although as you can see it's still super long, but not insanely long like some people, mentioning their names. Still super long, but it is an overplug, so it does lay flat. Also, it's all nylon. I got this hair from Retro Dolls UK, and it is the colour Sea Glass, and then the brighter sort of, not highlights, low lights, the darker colour at the front here, that's Spearmint, and it just adds a little bit of colour, which is really nice. I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, Trinity is based on a dragon that I have on Flight Rising, which is like a pet game that I play. She's very monochromatic, all soft sort of greens, and I really like monochromatic designs where it's sort of all one colour and then sort of the contrasting eye colour. Although I'm not sure that purple is a contrasting colour to green, but I don't know, I think it looks good. So yeah, she is based on that character, and she's very shy. That's her personality, very shy, very sweet, and she is a healer. At the minute, she is wearing a beautiful dress that was fantastically, one-of-a-kind dress made by me out of a baby wipe. So I'm gonna have to get per Trinity something better to wear than a baby wipe. I do have plans for her dress. I've got some lovely gold material that I plan to make her dress out of, and it's going to be sort of Greek style, and it's all going to be very elaborate, and yeah, I just haven't got around to it because I'm quite scared to try and make clothes. I don't know why I'm scared, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So yeah, okay, so that's Trinity. I'll set her beside Echo there. I like how they look together. They're quite cute together. So I would be showing you now my 4th completed doll, but unfortunately what happened with him was I actually was making him for my friend Fran, who was visiting me from Italy, and I actually ran out of time because I had some last minute trouble with his hair, and I basically got him finished like the day before she left, and we were busy, you know, hanging out and doing stuff, so there was no time to film. This is not focusing. Oh well, whatever. There was just no time to film, so unfortunately I don't have him here to show you, but I will insert some pictures of him just at the end here. He was made from a Draculaura, which obviously is a female Monster High doll, but this character is very effeminate, and he has, like, you know, his shape and stuff is very effeminate, so I thought that a girl doll suited him better than even the Monster High boys, who are very slim, would have been too buff for C. So I just got my brother to help by sanding off his breasts, and I think it works quite well, so I'm going to show you some pictures now. His hair was made from yarn, not rooted, because it's quite short, and also it's half flocked in the side. I watched the tutorial by Mosekito that showed how to do that hairstyle, and I think it turned out quite well, although it was a lot more difficult than it looked in her video. So okay, I will show you some pictures of C now. Okay, and just lastly here for a little sort of bonus look, this is my real first custom doll. I call Echo my first custom doll because she was my first proper repaint, but I made Crimson here maybe, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, I think. And at the time I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know that there was like a doll repainting community or anything, and I hadn't watched any videos on it. It's just my best friend really loved Monster High dolls, and I thought it would be cool if she had a version of her character Crimson to go in her Monster High collection. So I just tried to like paint her skin white with acrylics. Obviously she's a Frankenstein originally, and you can see where it's chipping off because I didn't know about sealant, and I didn't know about mold release, and I didn't know about any of those things. I just tried to paint her, and I couldn't understand why it was flaking off again. I didn't try to like redraw any of her features really, I just kind of painted over them. The camera has decided not to focus. Lie down, you see a little bit better. Yeah. So I just painted her lips a darker red than they were, and painted her eyes black. Her hair, I originally bought red dye for it, but I didn't realize that nylon doll hair doesn't take human hair dye very well. So it kind of ended up pink, and I ended up having to like tint it red with acrylic. And if you can hear it like a clippy noise here, is because I am back at my friend's house and her dogs are clipping around, so I will add them at the end of the video. But yeah, so I did my best, but she is pretty bad, and I'm hoping to remake the same character. Oh yeah, first I should say that her wings, Nixie, her wings are from a Tinkerbell doll, and I just painted them red. And I've just painted her top on because I didn't know how to get clothes for her, how to make them, and I've just tied random bits of ribbon all over her, and she's kind of like, you know, showing her little painted pants there. I don't know. So anyway, yes, I'm hoping to remake the same character for Christmas this year, so it'll be quite interesting to compare my new version of Crimson with my old version of Crimson, so I'll probably do that when I finish them there. Okay, so that was the little bonus, so just going back to my other dolls now. So yeah, that was a look at the custom dolls I have made so far. I hope you enjoyed seeing them, and hopefully my plan is that I'm going to get my camera set up. I know I say this like every single video, but my plan is to get my camera set up and start recording my process and actually showing how I make my repaints. I don't know if that'll happen for my next one or it'll be the one after, but I'm gonna try to do that, that's my plan. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you in my next video. And now I'm just gonna go back to show you Lindsay's dogs. Okay, so this is Nixie. Nixie is a half German, half Belgian Shepherd, and she is totally mad, and all she wants to do is play all the time. Nixie, you good girl. Yeah, she is a crazy, whoa. She is a crazy dog, as you can kind of see her. And she's climbing all over me. Nixie, Nixie, look at the camera. Look at the camera, Nixie. Okay, so that's Nixie, and I'm gonna try and find Astra now. Okay, this is Astra, and she is a white German Shepherd, and she is basically opposite personality to Nixie in every way. Like, Nixie's quite intelligent and Astra's kind of dumb, and Nixie's super hyper and Astra is really lazy, as you can see. She just demonstrated. You lying down, baby? Are you lying down? Meanwhile this one. Hi, Nixie. So yeah, this is Astra, and she's a good dog. Astra? Astra? No, she's not even going to acknowledge me now because she's decided that she's going to be lazy. So yeah, that is Astra and Nixie. Nixie. What do you see? What do you see? She doesn't know what she sees, but anyway, yes, so that's them. Okay.